And welcome back to Milroy, Minnesota. And game number 2 from Milroy of the State C baseball tournament. We have the Randall Cubs, winners in exciting fashion last week, taking on the Bluffton Braves. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the State Amateur Baseball Tournament.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.
And welcome back to Milroy. It's Randall, it's Bluffton for a spot in the Sweet 16 in the Class C tournament. And we are just finishing up the introductions of the two teams. The Bluffton Braves, the team that won their region championship and had the bye from last week, and they are being introduced as the home team. The visiting team are the Randall Cubs. Let's go through the starting lineup for Randall, but first we're going to step aside and we'll go ahead and do the national anthem and be back for the lineups and the first pitch as it's Bluffton and Randall. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. And we are ready to get going here in our first game of the day. Randall started the tournament off for us last week here in Milroy on a Friday night and rallied from 3 runs down in their final 2 at-bats to defeat the Hadley Buttermakers and move into play today against the Bluffton Braves. Bluffton will go to the hill today with the starting pitcher, Jake Dykov. Jake Dykov is a 21-year-old right-hander, and he will take the hill as Dykov is the prominent name in Bluffton baseball, a very proud tradition of town baseball in Bluffton, and they are in the field. The starting lineup for the Randall Cubs is the lineup almost identical to last week, if not identical. At shortstop and batting first, Thomas Kunkel. Kyle Petershik, who had a couple big hits and scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning. He is playing center field, batting second. Travis Wenzel, who was the winning pitcher last week, he came in relief through 6 innings. He is back at second base to start this game, and he's batting third. Rick Drew is playing first base and in the cleanup spot. Matt Otremba in left field, batting fifth. Alex Zach is the catcher. He'll bat sixth. Sam Nagel DHing today. He'll be batting seventh. And batting eighth is Brett Strock, the manager's son. Chuck Strock managing this Randall Cubs team. He is playing third base, and Caleb Strock, the pitcher, will bat ninth, and he is on the hill. Strock started the game last week as well. Again, pitching for the Bluffton Braves is Jake Dykov. He'll be pitching to Justin Dykov, his brother, catcher. At first base, Wyatt Hammond. Second base, Cody Geiser. And shortstop is, I have 2 people written down. I think that's Sam Tellers. And at at third base, Tellers. At shortstop, Peyton Rondesvet. So we get started with Kunkel, and the first pitch is a strike from the right-hander, Dykov, Jake Dykov. And he delivers the 0-1 pitch inside 1-1. Get my lineup straight here and playing. It is Kyle Dykov at third base, Rondesvet at shortstop. 1-1 the count, and swing and a miss from Kunkel in the count 1-2. The outfield for the Bluffton Braves in left field. As the foul ball goes off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The lineup, the outfield setting for the Bluffton Braves in left field. We have Sam Tellers. In center field, Preston Warren, and in right field, Josh Dykov. Pitch on the corner, and a called third strike on Kunkel, and he goes down for the first out here in this game. Top of the first, Randall and Bluffton, the winner moving on to the Sweet 16. Kyle Petershik to the plate, and Petershik last week we talked a lot about. He is a player who is into his 30s, and he has had a great baseball career, town ball baseball career. He's been drafted many a times by teams, but now he's for the first time being able to lead his Randall Cubs, where he has played his lifetime, and he's got the chance to lead this team to a state tournament, and he played a big role last week in getting tying base hit and scoring the go-ahead run. Inside pitch catches the zone, and Petershik is down 0-2 in the count. 0-2 pitch from Dykov, and swing and a miss. And Dykov, 2 strikeouts to start the game, and next up will be Travis Wenzel. Wenzel delivered the base hit that scored Petershik last Friday night for the go-ahead run as they rallied for 4 runs in their final 2 at-bats to get the win. Wenzel was also the winning pitcher. So a great Friday night for Wenzel. Now he comes out here on Saturday, and the first pitch he sees from Dykov is a strike on a nice breaking ball from Jake. Wenzel slows him down a little bit by backing out and get Dykov out of his rhythm just for a second, as he has struck out the first 2 batters. Swing and a miss on a pitch that fools Wenzel, and its count is quickly 0-2. So Dykov has come out and is humming. 0-2 pitch on the way, grounded towards third. That will be to Kyle Dykov. He bobbles it, throws on to first on 1 hop, and a nice dig by Hamann at first, and the play is made. So 3 up and 3 down, 2 strikeouts for Jake Dykov. He gets help from his cousin Kyle at third, who knocks it down, picks it up, and throws across for the out, and we will go to the bottom of the first inning. And this tournament brought to you in part by the Minnesota Baseball Association, Wings Financial, and Xfinity X1. And we are back here in Milroy for the bottom of the first inning, and let's take a look at the starting batting order for the Bluffton Braves as they come to the plate. Peyton Rondesvet, the shortstop, is hitting first. He's at the plate. Tom Tellers will bat second. Cody Geiser, the manager's son, batting third. On the hill, Caleb Strock, and he fires a strike on his first pitch. Continuing on with the lineup, the starting pitcher, Jake Dykov for Bluffton, will bat in the cleanoff spot. Justin Dykov, his brother, catching, batting fifth. Swing and a miss, and he is down 0-2 is Rondesvet. And Rondesvet facing Caleb Strock. Jake Dykov will bat seventh. Wyatt Hammond will bat 8th, and Sam Tellers is batting 9th. Pitch outside, and the count 1-2 to start this bottom of the first inning to Peyton Rondesvet. Last week, Caleb Strock started the game, pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 runs. He left the game trailing 3-0 on the hook for the loss, but his squad rallied for the 4 runs. Breaking ball misses inside, and he slaps his glove, does Caleb Strock, thinking that was good for a strike. He gets right back to the hill and rocks and fires on the full count pitch and misses inside. So a base runner to start the game, and it's Peyton Rondesvet at first base. Runner at first now, and Tom Tellers. Actually, it looks like we might have had a change in the. I'm sorry. We had the change in the. Because we're trying to catch up to the. I don't have the right number here. We're going to just take a second. All right, we have a bunt, and we have a whole change in the order. As we scramble this, they had put the DH for the person at the top, so we will scratch some things off, and I apologize this is as we go. That was Cody Geiser. Cody Geiser batting second. Rondesvet, who I thought had walked, he is actually being DH'd for. So Cody Geiser with the sacrifice bunt, that will move Tom Tellers over to first base. So Tom Tellers is the leadoff hitter. And we have, this is Jake Dykov here. So Jake Dykov, the pitcher, with a runner at second and 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Justin Dykov will bat fourth, the catcher. And the pitch on the way, and the count goes to 2-0. With the runner on second is Tom Tellers. Tellers with the walk, and he moves over. He moves over to second base. So this is Jake Dykov, and swings and misses, and the count is 2-1. Caleb Strock facing the pitcher. So pitcher versus pitcher here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. Bluffton, 1 loss on the season. Managed by Dustin Geiser. Their 1 loss came to Perham. Ground ball foul, and the count quickly evens 2-2. So I apologize for the misinterpreting of their lineup. As the player not coming to the plate for Bluffton will be Peyton Rondesvet. So it's Tellers, Geiser, the 4 Dykovs in a row. Jake, Justin, Kyle, and Josh. That's your lineup, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Wyatt Hammond, Sam Tellers, and Preston Warren. And the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. So getting the strikeout for the second out of the inning, Jake Dykov goes down, and there's 2 down. So a lesson learned here, never write your lineup in a pen. So we're now having to do a lot of. So Justin Dykov swinging from the left side of the plate. He's the catcher and batting fourth. And the pitch with the runner at second is a breaking ball that misses outside, and it's 1-0 to Justin Dykov. He's catching, wearing number 12. He is a brother of the starting pitcher, so not the first time we've seen this where we have brothers as the battery mates, and the strike is in to level up the count. 1-1, 2 outs, runner on second base, and that runner is Tom Tellers. And the ball is lifted out to center field. Chasing it down is Peter Schick, and it's off his glove. He was running back on it, and it kicks right off the glove. And so Dykov is safe at second. Justin will wait for the scoring decision on that, but the run is in. And an error on Petershik. So it'll be an unearned run at this moment in time, as that would have been the third out. And Petershik, who is such a leader and veteran on this team, is beside himself out in center field. He's wandering around, and he's had his hand in his glove, or face on his glove, so you can tell he was probably saying a few words that were a little tough. And that leads to a fly ball to left, way back, and up against the fence. The catch is made by Otremba. So Otremba picks him up, as that one could have caused more trouble after that two-out error. But a run scores for Bluffton, and we'll put that one on the board, and we will be back just after this. It's 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now a three at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
So to wrap up that bottom of the first inning, that run scores, and we go to the second, and it was an unearned run, as it was a two-out error that scores the run. And we'll see how that affects the Randall Cubs team as they play from behind again for the second straight week in the state tournament. Star of that play, that catch by Otremba out in left field, up against the wall. And we'll wrap up the inning. So one run scores, it's unearned. There were no hits. There was the error, and one runner left on base for Randall. So they go to the second, or for Bluffton, they go to the second leading Randall, 1-0. And it is Rick Drew, the first baseman, and he takes a ball on the first pitch, swings and misses at the second, and the count leveled at 1-1 strike. You again are in Milroy, Minnesota with this one, and the pitch is on the way, and it misses up high, and the count is 2-1 to Rick Drew. Games all day going on in Springfield in the Class C tournament, and also in Shakopee for the Class B tournament, and we'll be updating scores as we go along in for the rest of the day. 2 balls and 2 strikes after the foul ball. And the 2-2 pitch from Dykov is swung on and missed. So his third strikeout of the game, second swinging, and all 4 batters have been retired by Dykov. Playing over in Springfield right now, a matchup that was highly talked about, and that was Gaylord, the Islanders, who we saw win here last week in a shutout over St. Martin's. They are playing Sartell. It's supposed to be a great pitching performance or matchup there, showdown, and we'll get to that in a second. First, a ball and a foul ball to even the count, 1-1 on Matt Otremba. So Otremba batting 5th, his first at-bat. Otremba, the left fielder, he wears number 5, and Otremba coming off a phenomenal defensive play as he tracked the ball all the way to the wall on a very well-hit ball and made the catch. He lifts it towards center field. Running after it is Preston Warren. Warren dives, and Warren makes the catch. So Preston Warren tracking it down on a ball hit to the gap in left center field, and the center fielder comes up with a nice play of his own. So defense key so far in this, and an error that is by Kyle Peterchik that was surprising, as Peterchik, one of the top players you're going to find, not just in his league, not just in his region, but at this level for somebody, a veteran leader of his magnitude. First pitch on the way to the number 6 hitter, Alex Zach. So 5 up, 5 down for Randall as we are in the top of the second inning. The Cubs trailing the Braves of Bluffton. Fouled straight back, and the count levels 1-1 to Zach. Zach was 0 for 3 in last week's game. Their come from behind win over the Buttermakers of Hadley on Friday night. Exciting finish as they scored 2 in the 8th and 2 in the 9th. He lines it out to center field. This one looks like it's going to hang up, and a much easier play made by Preston Warren this time around. So 2 innings have gone quickly, 6 up and 6 down, as Jake Dykov has worked his way through the first 2 frames without an incident, and we will head now to the bottom of the second inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament from Milroy, Minnesota. And remember, as you're looking at Milroy, those shots, that shot right there from the series Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota aired on Fox Sports North last year. It was Emmy Award nominated by Big G Media, and you can view and purchase the episodes on Amazon. Go to Amazon.com, or if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can watch them for gratis, for nothing. So another perk for being an Amazon Prime member. That's Town Ball Uniquely Minnesota on Amazon. Bottom of the second inning now, and it is 1-0. The Bluffton Braves score 1, an unearned run in the first, and we go to the bottom of the second inning, and we've got our lineup card all scratched up and ready to go. And I believe we will go with Josh Dykov, Wyatt Hammond, and Sam Tellers. And we just need to update the positions they're playing. So Tom Tellers, the DH, is the leadoff guy.
Leading off the bottom of the second inning for Bluffton, right fielder number 16, Josh Dykov.
Josh Dykov coming to the plate. And we are ready to go with Caleb Strock's delivery, and it's off the plate. The count goes to 1-0 to the left-handed hitting Josh Dykov. He is in right field, starting in right field. These players have many of them related blood relations through cousins, and Josh is a brother of the starting pitcher and catcher. The 3 J Dykovs are brothers. The Geysers, manager and son, related as well to the Dykovs. So as we see in a lot of the smaller communities, 2 balls and a strike to Josh. You have, it's the team is as much blood as it is, just the members of the community. You have a couple families that continue to generate baseball players. Outside on that pitch, so it's 3-1. Now, it was a leadoff walk that scored in the first inning. Leadoff walks always troublesome. And the 3-1 pitch catches the outside corner, and the count goes full to the number 6 hitter, Josh Dykov. Leadoff run scoring on the 2-base error in the first. A lot of baseball left, and a good curveball with the strikeout, and the bat goes flying out of the hands of Josh Dykov. And there is a strikeout to start the first inning. Wyatt Hammond, who's at first base, another left-handed hitting batter, and he is at the plate. Lefty versus lefty. Caleb Strock, the lefty, misses outside with the first pitch. Strock misses down low, and the count goes to 2-0. And the 2-0 pitch also misses outside, so he's missed almost in the same spot for 3 straight batters, or 3 straight pitches, and it's 3-0 with the 1 out here into the bottom of the second inning. The Bluffton Braves, the home team, leading at 1-0. The 3-0 pitch catches the corner, and it's strike 1. He's working the outside part of the plate to Wyatt Hammond. Wyatt wearing number 30. Bluffton, a great season, sweeping through to the Region 14C Championship. Member of the High 10 League, and the count is full on another called strike. So Hamann has looked at 5 pitches. We'll see if he is induced to swing the bat here, and he is, and he lines it right up the middle. So Hamann takes a breaking ball and hits it right where it was pitched, right back up the middle, and a base hit. First base hit of the game.
Now batting left fielder number 8, Sam Tellers.
And with one down, Sam Tellers, the left fielder, comes to the plate as another lefty comes up. Everybody from the left side of the plate here at 6, 7, and 8. Sam Tellers with a runner at first and 1 out. And the pitch again outside with the fastball missing, 1-0. Wyatt Hamann at first base, getting a lead. Check over there quickly once, and the pitch, swing and a miss as he has the off-speed pitch that spins away from the left-handed hitter for the swinging strike. Randall Cubs here last Friday night, making a second trip to Milroy. Randall located just to the north and the west of Little Falls. A lot of these kids in the Little Falls High School District. And the 1-1 pitch is outside. They're going to check to see if he went around. He did not, so the count is now 2-1. And heading up Highway 10, it looked like about 50 miles away to the north and to the west of Randall. You go up Highway 10, and in between Wadena, outside on this pitch, 3-1, between Wadena and New York Mills is where you're going to find the town of Bluffton. And Bluffton has a strong baseball tradition with their Braves squad. 3-1 pitch is away, and so a base hit and a walk. Second walk of the game, and Hamann moves over to second base, and that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Preston Warren.
Center fielder number 11, Preston Warren.
Warren wearing number 11. He's the center fielder who tracked down that ball in the last half inning, making the diving catch as he was running towards left field, towards his right, and he made the nice diving catch on the ball hit by Matt Otremba. Runners at first and second, 1 out, and it looked like Warren was going to square to bunt. The fastball catches the outside corner, strike 1. As we mentioned, Caleb Strock went 3 innings last week, was trailing 3-0 when he left, and it was the second baseman, Travis Wenzel, who pitched 6 solid scoreless innings and picked up the win. Not sure if we'll see that same rotation or if we'll see some of the drafted players making their way into the game for the Randall Cubs. So, with the count 1-1 now to the number 9 hitter, Preston Warren, runners at first and second, and again missing outside on the pitch, and the count moves to 2-1. Caleb Strock, the lefty, young son of manager Chuck Strock. 2 Strocks playing. His brother's over at third base, and the pitch is on the way, and it's a fastball that misses up and maybe out as well. It looked like it was overcaught a part of the plate, but his count goes to 3-1 with runners at first and second. So Strock gaining a strikeout to start the inning of Josh Dykov, and now he's laboring a little bit, and another walk. So the bases are loaded here. And Chuck Strock is going to make a pitching change, it looks like, as Travis Wenzel, as we just were mentioning it, he takes off his wristbands and his tape on his wrists. And it looks like Travis Wenzel, who went 6 innings last week, is going to take over for Caleb Strock. So 2 walks and the base hit in the day for Caleb Strock. He only goes an inning and a third. He's responsible for all 3 runners right now. The run that he is on, that he's tagged with, was an unearned run. Not that that matters at this moment in time, because earned run average doesn't win you championships. It's just about winning the game. So we're going to take a break here. We're going to watch some highlights from last night's game. Union Hill and Lamberton playing extra innings. We'll come back with Travis Wenzel on the mound.
This pitch lifted in the air to center. In with the stutter step is Earlbeck. Now still tracking. He falls to the ground and makes the catch. Staggering in the twilight, Earlbeck with a nice play to stay with that ball for out number 2. Hoping to convert. 1-2 up the middle. Here's the shortstop, Eichten, and it gets through him. Scoring from third is Berg, and the Bulldogs take the game's first lead. It's 1-0 in the 6th inning. Pistonka's delivery. Line drive base hit through the hole to left. Up with it is Salford. He throws home. Here comes Lee to the plate. He is out at the plate. Salford came up firing. Bulldogs tried to press their luck. They get one, but no more here in the 6th. The pitch lifted in the air, down the right field line, hit deep. Becky is going back. He cannot make the play. One hopping off the wall. Rounding first on his way to second is Pack. He slides in, safe with a double. Slid in a little early and almost came up short of the base. But it is a 2-bagger. And Lamberton has a 2-out rally. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Pistonka goes down looking. 6 strikeouts through 6 scoreless innings for Conrad Mossberg. And we head to the 7th here in Springfield. It's still 1-0 Bulldogs. You're watching the pitch to Earlbeck. Line.
We come back here, and it's ball outside to Tom Tellers, and a swing and a miss. So Travis Wenzel pitched 6 innings last week, and he is now moving in from second base to pitch. Rick Drew goes from first base to second base, and the pitcher, Caleb Strock, heads over to first base. Same move they made last week in the 4th inning. So the pitch is hit, and that's a base hit into the hole between short and third. Station to station goes Bluffton at this point in time, so Tellers comes in with the base hit. His second time he's reached base. He walked in the first, and he delivers the second base hit of the game and an RBI, scoring Wyatt Hammond. So Hammond in, and Cody Geiser, the manager's son, to the plate, and he's got bases loaded. Over at third base, he's got Sam Tellers, second base Preston Warren, and at first Tom Tellers. So Tellers at the corners with a Warren in the middle for the Bluffton Braves, and it is 2-0 as they've tallied in both innings. Bluffton up 2-zip, and with the bases loaded and just 1 out. First pitch called strike from Wenzel. Comes in with a low fastball and the count 1-1. Wenzel wearing number 19. Taking over here in the 2nd inning. So now heading down to the bullpen are a couple of the drafted players for the Randall Cubs as the pitch is outside. 2-1, bases are loaded here, and the Bluffton Braves thinking about putting up a crooked number. Last night in the Class C games, nary a crooked number was put up. Just 1 runs in innings for both games in Springfield. And here, swing and a miss on the 2-1 pitch, and Cody Geiser, who grounded out to the pitcher, or who bunted, it was a sacrifice, 1-3. 0 for 1 or 0 for 0. It's no official plate appearance. And the string is out. We've got a full count, and the bases are loaded. So no place to put Cody Geiser, the right-handed hitting second baseman. So Geiser on a big 3-2 pitch delivered by Wenzel, and he grounds it into the hole, and that's knocked down by the shortstop Kunkel, but it's a base hit, an infield single by Geiser. Everybody is safe, and everybody goes up 1 spot. So the run scores is Tellers on the RBI by Sam Tellers, or the RBI by Cody Geiser, and Sam Tellers moves over to our scores. At third base now is Warren. At second is Tellers. And Jake Dykov, the pitcher, can really help himself. First pitch misses outside 1-0. bases loaded, 3-0 the score, and another ball hit towards the left side, but it's going to be foul wide of third. Bluffton leading 3-zip. 3 runs on 3 hits, all 3 hits in this inning. A leadoff single in the inning, or I'm sorry, 1-out single by Wyatt Hammond. 2 walks, and now back-to-back base hits. Ground ball through to the left field by Tom Tellers, and Cody Geyser with an infield single. Breaking ball outside. Dykov looked to make an offering at it, but he holds back, and the count is now 2-1. Lots of trouble right now in store for the Randall Cubs. Can they get out of this jam? And it hits him. And Wenzel hits the batter, so the parade of base runners continues on. That's going to be a run batted in for Dykov the hard way, and it's 4-0. And quickly Chuck Strock wants to talk things over now with his relief pitcher. So Jake Dykov, the pitcher, gets hit. Give him an RBI. Oh. So Justin Dykov is now up. Three runs in on the inning. And Justin Dykov up, and the first pitch gets past the catcher, Zach, but chases it down. So let's set the table again on who is on base. We have at first base just Jake Dykov, who just got hit. At second base, Cody Geyser, who delivered the single. Tom Tellers is at third base. Pop up on the 1-0 pitch, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 out, and that out came from Josh Dykov. He struck out to start the inning. Since then, single, 2 walks, 2 singles, and a hit batter. And the pitch, and it's a blooper, and it's going to be right at the second baseman, Drew. So Drew playing over there, and that little soft blooper stops the bleeding for a second. And the 9th batter of the inning comes to the plate, and this is Kyle Dykov, the third baseman. So again, bases are loaded. 3 runs in the inning off of 3 base hits. All 3 of the runs this inning are charged to Caleb Strock. First pitch over for a strike. Wenzel delivers. Throw down to first, and on one hop, Caleb Strock knocks it down before the runner at third. Tellers thinks that he can scoot home. Tellers at third, Geyser at second, Dykov at first. O2 pitch on the way, and it's hit hard to left. Trying to track it down as Otremba. It's going to land on one hop, and with 2 outs, the runners were going, and everybody scores. 2 runners score, and it is Josh Dykov, or Kyle Dykov, that completes batting around the order, and the 2 runs scoring are Tellers and Geyser, and it is 6-0 just like that as this gets away. Josh Dykov started the inning, so, and heading to third is the pitcher. Jake Dykov is going to steal third base. Runners at first and third now, and Josh Dykov at the plate, the 10th hitter of the inning. As we are still in the bottom of the second inning. 6-0, Bluffton in front, and a short chopper that's going to get past the pitcher. Drew's going to field a quick throw over to first, not in time. So another run scores on an infield single, and the inning just continues to spiral for Randall and spiral in a good way for the Bluffton Braves. So an infield single will drive in a run for Josh Dykov. That's going to score the pitcher. So brother scores brother on this one. And it is 7-0. 7 runs on 5 hits, all 5 hits this inning. So the second inning, the demise for Randall. Fastball from Wenzel is delivered to Wyatt Amon, and it's Wyatt who started the whole thing. Wyatt led off with a single to center, not leading off. It was a one-out single, but then that began the trail of 6 straight Bluffton Braves that reached base. 6 in a row. Hammond, Tellers, Warren, Tellers, Geyser, Dykov, all reaching. So in those 6, swing, and it's popped towards left field. Otremba is there, and Otremba will make the catch. So those 6 runners that all reached in a row all come around to score, and it is 7-0 after 2 innings. We'll step aside. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv, coming back for the top of the third, and to see if Jake Dykov and the Bluffton Braves can shut it down and stay in massive control of this one, leading 7-0 going to the top of the third. Sam Nagel comes to the plate for the Randall Cubs in the top of the third inning, and Jake Dykov, who has gone 6 up, 6 down. It'll be Nagel, Brett Strock, Caleb Strock, as Randall tries to get off the mat. They were knocked down in the second inning with those 6 runs on 5 hits, and the pitch is fouled away in the count 0-2. So Dykov now with 7 runs to play with, and he has looked sharp in his first 2 innings. And we'll see how he pounds the strike zone with his team now leading 7-0. 0-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball is called, third strike, and Nagel knew it right away. So Dykov has collected 4 strikeouts, and Brett Strock comes to the plate. First of 4 games here in Milroy today. Up next, we have the Carver Black Sox taking on the Delano Athletics. That game's set to start at 2 o'clock in the second of 4 games today, 3 more games tomorrow. Andy Price and Nicholas Earlbeck with you here in Milroy. 1-0 pitch is fouled away by Brett Strock. Last week, Brett Strock was 1 for 4. He scored a run in their come-from-behind win. Well, they came from 3 runs down in the last 2 at-bats. They are 7 runs down with possibly 7 at-bats to go. 2 balls and a strike as Dykov misses outside. Dykov wearing the stirrups, as are most of his infielders. Fastball catches the corner, and it's 2-2. Dykov is getting the ball and getting it back to his catcher quickly. He's moving right along. Earlier in the game, we saw Wenzel step out to try to break the rhythm. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball that is flared away by number 21, Brett Strock. No base runners yet for Randall, number 8 hitter, and he did not. It was check swing. It was a breaking ball that he thought about it, was able to hold the swing, and the count runs full. Dykov to Brett Strock. Base runners needed when you're 7 runs down, and Strock's trying to get on first, and a breaking pitch misses. Dykov thought he had it. I think it was high. So there is a base runner in Brett Strock to start 1 out here in the third inning. 7-0 your score, 1 out in the third. Strock at first and Strock at the plate. Quick throw over to first base to Hammond. And back on his belly is Brett Strock. Here's Caleb. Started at pitcher. He's now the first baseman. And over for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Back to after Caleb hits, we'll go to the top of the order. One down. And a soft toss, and he tried to change her up, and off and running is Brett Strock, and it's way into the corner, and thought about for a second heading to third, but Brett Strock will stay at second on the air on the pitcher, so that gives a runner in scoring position. So Randall can chip away at something, down 7. So Caleb Strock now with the runner at second base. And the pitch is high, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned with a 7-run lead, you pound the strike zone and maybe let your defense handle it. A walk with 1 out after getting a strikeout. We'll see if Jake is able to do just that. Fastball swung on and missed, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. First runner of the game for the Randall Cubs. On board with a walk, moved over to second on the air on the pickoff play. A faux pickoff play, really. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. That one is above the letters, and he gets Caleb Strock to chase after it. 5 strikeouts through 2 2/3 innings, and that goes to the top of the order. And Thomas Kunkel, the shortstop, who struck out looking on a pitch, good breaking ball in the first inning. 1 run in the first, 6 runs in the second for Bluffton, and they lead at 7-0. Pitch is low, breaking ball, and it's 1-0. Last night in Class C, we had 2 games that went down to the wire. Here in Milroy, Fairmont scored in the bottom of the 8th inning to beat Waconia 2-1. Swing and a miss from Kunkel. Count levels at 1 ball and a strike. 2 outs and a runner here at second in the 3rd inning. And then over in Springfield, we had extra innings in a game that another by the same score, Union Hill advances on over Lamberton, the Long Sox, 2-1. Fastball pops the glove, but it's above the letters and a little inside. 2 balls and a strike to Kunkel. Kunkel, as I mentioned, a strikeout victim in the first inning. And he has a chance here with 2 outs to extend this inning and maybe even add a number to the scoreboard for the Randall Cubs. At the set high, and it's in for a strike right at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Kunkel tries to gather his thoughts. Kunkel not wearing any batting gloves. And there's been some chirping coming out of the Randall dugout, and the umpire has opted to try to shut it down. There's a pitch at the knees, just off the plate, and the count is 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 outs. Runner at second base, and Dykov, hand set right above his face, and he delivers the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3, curveball breaks in, and that ends the top of the 3rd. No run score, runner left, no hits in the inning. And 1 error on the pickoff play, so we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is 7-0 Bluffton over Randall. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. All right, a beautiful day at the ballpark, the Milroy Yankees ballpark, and you are watching the 2020 Class C amateur baseball tournament in the unrecognizable summer of 2020. But we are playing baseball. We're playing the state baseball tournament. We are in the round of 32. Winner here gets to the Sweet 16. And we'll advance on to get the chance to maybe play 4 games next week. After you win this week, you load it up in Milroy and Springfield next week with the chance of playing 4 games to win a state championship. Last year it was the Jordan Brewers who were able to work their way through the tough bracket and get the win. So we have a discussion going on right now. Manager and the umpire, and the home plate umpire, Kevin Young, is talking to Chuck Strock, and they were discussing some of the ball strike calls, I am guessing. And they come to what looks to be an amicable separation. Not sure either would agree with the other one, but it's amicable enough. And manager Chuck Strock heads to the dugout, and we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And it is Wenzel pitching for the Randall Cubs, and Sam Teller's the left fielder. And he sees a strike on the first pitch. Wenzel comes back with strike 2 as he hits the zone. Teller's walked the first time up, and he came around to score. He was the second of 6 batters in a row, and the 0-2 pitch misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Second of 6 batters in a row that reached base for Bluffton, and all 6 came around to score. 7 reached base in the inning. The biggest blow in that inning, as the pitch misses outside to go 2-2, was a 2-run single by Kyle Dykov. So Kyle Dykov, 2-2 the count, and foul tip not hung on as it catches a piece of the catcher Alex Zach, and the count remains at 2-2. 7-0 the score here. And the 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's lined to left center field for a base hit. So Tellers reaches base for his first 2 times up, and a leadoff single.
Now batting center fielder number 11, Preston Warren.
And here comes Preston Warren. He was the last batter faced by Caleb Strock, and the pitch is outside. So that was the last pitcher the starting pitcher faced, or last batter the starting pitcher faced. So the winner of this game will take on the winner of the game going on right now in Springfield, Sartell and Gaylord, and we'll try to get a score on that one for you. It's 0s after 3. 0-0 after 3 in Springfield in a pitcher's duel, and it's exactly what we thought it was going to be, a pitcher's duel. And the count is 2-0. So nobody out. Runner on first with the leadoff single is Tellers, and Preston Warren at the plate. Warren is walking to score, and it's 3-0. And the fastball gets over for a strike from Wenzel, and it's 3-1. Nobody warming up in the bullpen yet. We'll see how long Wenzel goes. He came in to pitch the final 6 innings last week on Friday night. See what happens here today as his team now trailing 7-0. The walk on the 3-1 pitch puts runners at first and second base. Chuck Strock comes in, and we're going to make a change as he tosses the ball, gets the ball tossed to him from Wenzel, and we'll do the dance as to who's going where, and then we will have a pitcher coming in that is a drafted pitcher. So we'll take a look at who goes where, as Randall struggling today. We're going to keep it here, though. and try to figure this all out. Looks like a pitcher from the St. Stephen Steves is what this looks like. Jake Shalanka from the St. Stephen Steves, if I'm not mistaken. We'll get the official announcement. So Wenzel gets 2 outs in the second inning, and he gets nobody out here. So he's just 2/3 of an inning. He's gave up 3 runs. Sorry. 2 runs. So 5 of the runs were attributed to Caleb Strock. 2 go to Wenzel. And he also has a chance to have 2 more brought to the his ledger on the scorecard. So let's take a look at how it goes. Wenzel goes back to second base. First baseman is Drew again. Drew went from first to second. And it looks like Caleb Strock is going to go out and play right field and replace Josh Jennings in right field. So that's how we look at it. And, you see how baseball can change from one moment to the next. And tell you just a little inside story. Following Friday night's game, cameraman Greg Wilford and I went on to Applebee's in Marshall, where we were staying, as we did all 8 games last week, and we were at the Applebee's just enjoying a quick late night meal, and Drew and Peter Sheck from Randall came in, and we just had a really good conversation with the two. They had just come off the high of rallying from 3 runs down to beat Hadley, and they were grabbing a late night bite. And just talking to Drew and Peter Schick, how the leaders they are. They're the kind of the old guys on this team, and old being in quotations, just in the early 30s. And Peter Schick talked about all the years he was drafted and played, and playing on championship teams, playing in a state championship game, and he had a great game in that one in center field. Couple big base hits, drove in with a double in the 9th inning when it looked like their season was over with. He extended it with a game-tying double, then scored the go-ahead run, and he was on a huge high. Well, it was Peter Schick who had a ball clink off his glove. It was ruled an error in the first inning, and that made it 1-0. And the team the Cubs have not been the same following that. So 2 runners on as Shalanka is low and outside. And the 1-0 pitch is over for a strike. So runners at first and second. We're back to the top of the order. Tom Tellers. Tellers 1 for 2. He has an RBI, and he has scored twice. He walked and scored on the air that I was just talking about from Peter Schick in center field. Runners at first and second, 1-1, and the pitch is a breaking ball off the glove. It's actually fastball. Looked like it was a breaking ball, but it stayed up and it clanks off the glove. We'll call it a wild pitch. And there's 2 runners now in scoring position, and a 7-0 lead. Bluffton trying to close the door on this one maybe as quickly as they can, and then get ready for the showdown with either Sartell and or Gaylord in the game next week. But it's lots of baseball left here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the count 3 balls and a strike. So the infield has now come in to try to cut off a run. Nobody out. Runners at second and third. And more activity in the bullpen as Shalanka from St. Stephen's in as a 3rd pitcher of the game. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch, and the count runs full. The Randall Cubs haven't made the tournament since 1994, and they were back here and excited and got a win in the tournament. That excitement dampened just a little bit. Breaking ball over for a strike. No doubt about that one. Good breaking pitch and the first out of the inning. here in the bottom of the third is a looking strikeout, backwards K in your book, and that's going to bring up Cody Geyser. Geyser singled, infield single with an RBI, and he came around to score as well. Grounded out to short in his first time up. No, sorry, it was that sacrifice. I keep missing that, my handwriting. So he is actually 1 for 1. Sacrificed in the first. He's in here with an RBI opportunity. He already has 1 run batted in, and the fastball misses just outside, and the count is 1-0. Just a breeze blowing here in Milroy today. It looks like it's blowing straight out of the west right now. So across the outfield from right to left. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the third inning. If you're just getting here, Bluffton scored 1 in the first. They added 6 more in a busy second inning where 6 straight runners reached base. Pitch high, throw down to third, and in time diving back at third is Sam Tellers. It's close play as Zach came up firing after the pitch is high. 3 balls and no strikes to Geyser, and the starting pitcher Jake Dykov for Bluffton is on deck. And the pitch over for a strike. So Shalanka working back now with a strike to make the count 3-1. We'll keep you updated on what's going on in that game in Springfield. Infield in, 3-1 pitch, and it's popped up. They'll have to chase after it. Playing in was Strock, and he dives and catches it. They're going to tag, and the throw to third scores the run. So Strock has to leave his feet to make the catch for the second out, and tagging and scoring is Sam Tellers. And a run scores, and it's now 8-0, Bluffton leading. So give Geyser his second RBI of the day, and this brings up Jake Dykov, the starting pitcher. He was hit last time up, and it ends up being an RBI for getting hit. And over to third base goes Warren as he was. The throw came from right field to third, but he slides underneath the tag, so runner 90 feet away. 2 outs, though, and the first pitch fouled off, and here is the second pitch. Shalanka delivers, and it is fouled away. So 2 foul balls, and the count 0-2 to the pitcher, Dykov. 8-0 your score, as they have now marked the board in all 3 of their innings. 1 in the first, 6 in the second, 1 here in the third. 2 outs, runner at third. And the pitch is delivered. It's a strike, swinging, and it gets away from Zach. He's got to field it and throw, and he throws it inside. And so another run will score on the strikeout, but it's a wild pitch, strikeout. And they're going to say he's out for running inside the baseline. They're going to say inside the baseline he was running. Runner interference. And so we will ask if this run scores. I don't think it does, because the out is recorded before the run scores. So runner interference. I've never put this in a scorebook, but it's the third out on catcher, or the strikeout, wild pitch. He was trying to advance to first base, and there is interference with the runner as he runs inside the baseline and is ruled out. So Jake Dykov will now go back to the mound after a very crazy play that he was very much involved in. We'll be back on PrepSpotlight.tv. It's 8-0. We're going to the fourth. Thanks for watching us at the State C Baseball Tournament. All right, back with you here in Milroy, Minnesota, the home of the Milroy Yankees, right off Highway 68. 15 miles from Marshall or so, just to the south and to the east of Marshall, Minnesota. Ballpark just on the south end of town, and Kyle Petershik is your batter. And Petershik struck out his first time up, and we can say that about 5 of the first 9 batters. And a ground ball to first, and it clanks hard off of the first baseman, Hammond, and Hammond beats Petershik barely to the bag for the first out. So Petershik swinging on the first pitch, and a quick out for the pitcher, Jake Dykov. 3 unassisted on the play, and Petershik 0 for 2 in the game. Bringing up Travis Wenzel now. Wenzel grounded out to the third baseman to end the first inning. And first pitch is an off-speed breaking ball, and he gets a swing and a miss. So right now, Dykov is at 21 years old, rising to this occasion. And the pitch is inside, 1-1 strike to Travis Wenzel. Wenzel last week in their win was 3 for 5 with the game-winning RBI, or at least we would say the go-ahead RBI at the time. 1-2 strikes after the swing and the miss, and Dykov comes right back and tries to get another swing and miss on a low breaking pitch, but it bounces back to the backstop, and the count goes to 2-2. 8-0 here in the top of the 4th inning. Ground ball to short. Picking it up is Rondesvet, and he's over there with the throw on target. So 2 up and 2 down, and through the first 3 2/3 innings, just 1 runner reaching, and that was a 3-2 walk to Brett Strock. So no base hits on the board yet for Randall as we're in the 4th. And Rick Drew comes to the plate. Rick, the cleanup hitter. Drew was 1 for 5 last week. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. And the pitch is high and wide. Both these teams have what I would say a pretty equal mix of veteran players, 2 or 3 veteran players sprinkled in with some young guys, and Drew fouls it straight back right into your screen, right into your living room if you're watching in your living room. I shouldn't even assume you're watching in your living room. You could be in any room in this digital world that we live in. Ball and a strike to Drew. Drew, one of the older veterans, and he swings and misses. Talking to manager Dustin Geiser from the Bluffton Braves before the game, and he said that his mix is pretty much the same. He's got a few veterans. Ground ball towards second. It's going to be picked up by Geiser. Geiser flips it over to the first baseman, Hammond, and another 3 up, 3 down inning. That's the 3rd time he has gone through an inning, has Jake Dykov, without a mark on the board. So I will go to a break. We'll come back here for the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 8-0 Bluffton over Randall. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
And welcome back to the ball yard here in Milroy. Andy Price and Nicholas Earlbeck with you. Recap again of last night. Fairmont beat Waconia here 2-1. 2 hits and 2 runs scored by Derek Schoen, including a run in the bottom of the 8th as he scores on the double from John Trado. Sean with 2 RBI and 2 base hits as well. Colin Lovell, their drafted pitcher from Wyndham, pitching the distance to get the 2-1 victory. So they have advanced on, and looks like right now Bluffton is at least halfway to the door of advancing on in an 8-0 lead over the Randall Cubs. Jake Shalanka pitching for the Randall Cubs. He is a drafted pitcher out of St. Stephen. And that batting is Justin Dykov, and he flies it to Peterchik, and Peterchik chases it all the way to the warning track and makes the play. So Peterchik tracks it down for the first out, and Kyle Dykov comes to the plate. Now, Kyle delivered the big blow, and after a bunch of station-to-station runs in the second inning, it was Dykov with a 2 RBI single that made it 6-0. First pitch is down low, ball 1. 8-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Randall Cubs yet to mark on the board with a base hit. They have one base runner who reached via the walk. So nobody out, or one out, nobody on, and foul ball straight back over the roof of the grandstand here in Milroy. And the count is a ball and a strike. Thanks again to everybody who has participated in purchasing a single game or a package here for Class C, Class B, and Class A. We do appreciate your support, as does the Minnesota Baseball Association, bringing you every game of state amateur baseball at all classes, 4 different venues. Pitch outside, and the count is now 3 balls and a strike to Kyle Dykov, the third baseman, and he is 1 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. He did fly out in his first at bat, and it was a deep fly all the way to the wall. And he swings and misses, and the count moves 3-2. And he knows that was not a pitch that he should have been hacking at. Kyle, an uncle of the other 3 Dykovs, he old schools it with no batting gloves. And the third baseman takes the 3-2 pitch and grounds to short. Kunkel gobbles it up. He fires on to first, and there are 2 up and 2 down. Kunkel charging in. He makes the play. 2 outs. And that brings up Josh Dykov. Dykov with an RBI in that second inning. It was an infield single. And he struck out the first time up, so he is 1 for 2. And he now bats with nobody on base. He actually hit twice in the second inning. He led off the inning with the strikeout, and then he came through with an RBI in his second at-bat. So, and the pitch on the way, and the count is 1-1. We were talking about the game over in Gaylord. Gaylord and Sartell scoreless. Count pitch outside, 2 balls and a strike. And that game was scoreless at last check. We'll get another look at it. But we saw Brody Rodning, the pitcher for Gaylord, who is a minor leaguer in the Blue Jays organization, foul ball, and the count 2-2. We saw him pitch 6 innings last week as Gaylord beat St. Martin's in the final game of the tournament that we had, or the draw that we had here in Milroy of the 8 games last week. And Rodning pitched 6 innings, and then he also drove in 3 with the bases loaded triple as the 2-2 pitch is inside, and we run the count full to the left-handed hitting Josh Dykov. And Rodning was solid, not overpowering or spectacular, but a member of a professional baseball organization who was able to come back, and a base hit here for Josh Dykov. So the second hit for Dykov, and the single that goes to left field puts a runner at first with 2 out. Wyatt Hammond started everything off in that second inning with a base hit that was the first of 6 straight Braves that reached base. All 6 would come around to score. Now he's back up with 2 outs. Another player without batting gloves on, and he swings hard and hits it hard. Petershik tracking it down, back, and one hopping off the wall. Hustling around third right now and looking to score is Dykov, and he will on the RBI double for Wyatt Hammond. So Hammond's second base hit of the
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement.
All right, we're back with you here in the top of the fifth inning. We had a momentary loss of internet, and we lost the stream. The final out of that inning was recorded a strikeout of Sam Teller, but one run does score in the inning. So they have marked now in every one of their innings. 1 in the first, 6 in the second has Bluffton, 1 in the third, and then 1 in the fourth. So they lead at 9-0. We're in the top of the fifth inning. And coming to the plate are the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters. This is Matt Otremba. Swing and a miss from Jake Dykov. And Dykov is gone through 4 innings, only giving up 1 base runner, and that was a walk. Otremba with a very extended open stance, and he very Brian Downing-like closes up the stance, and he swings and pops it up. The center fielder, Preston Warren, is there, and the first out is recorded. Alex Zach comes to the plate right now. Zach flew out to the center fielder. That is actually the second time that Otremba has flown out to the center fielder. The first time was a phenomenal diving catch from Preston Warren. That one was just a standard come in about 8 steps, put the glove up and make the catch. So Zach, the left-handed hitting catcher, takes a fastball above the letters, strike or for a ball 1. Wind blowing just a little bit out of the west today, just wafting breeze. 5th inning, and another pop-up. And Dykov is going to make the play. He goes to a knee as the breeze brings it back in and the spin of the ball. So the pop-up to the catcher as the second out of the inning. Top of the 5th, 9-0. And that's going to bring up Sam Nagel. Nagel struck out looking. And the pitch from Dykov is swung on and missed for strike 1. So we are through 4 2/3 and not a hit on the board yet for Randall. Swing and a miss on a pretty nasty breaking ball. And the count goes to 0-2. Dykov again likes to get the ball and work quickly. 1 foot out of the batter's box is now Nagel. Nagel back in, the right-handed hitting designated hitter. Swing and a miss, and that's a very quick 1-2-3 inning. We're going to step aside and take a break. We're going to look at highlights from last week's Class B and A tournament, and we'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning right after this.
Hasn't been easy to come by. Here's a high fly into left field, way back and gone. Brown takes his lead at first. The 2-2 lifted in the air, shortstop. Arnold backtracking. He's got it. And the Chanhassen Redbirds hold on.
Dane pauses. This one hit in the air. Shallow right field, coming on, it falls! It falls! And Elko wins it 7-6.
9-6 Millers here in the ninth. Pushing pitches, swung on, off the end of the bat towards second base. Hansen has it, tags the runner, goes to first, and the Millers are state champions as Jeff Miller grounds into a double play.
So that was a look at the Class B and the Class A from last week. Some of the highlights, some of the walk-off wins, and the championship win from the Minnetonka Millers as they win their 15th Class A state championship. They defeat the Minneapolis Cobras, who had knocked them out a year ago. That was the rematch of a championship game. It swung the other way this time around. So we are in our third week of state tournament coverage at 4 different sites on PrepSpotlight.tv, and we so dearly appreciate your support. If you're watching us on a single game buy or the package of the Class C, or if you bought the whole dang tournament, the whole shooting match, as we would say. There were 3 great baseball games last night, so if you were a baseball fan and at your computer, you could click from one game to the other and watch all 3 as they all came down to the wire. Chanhassen advances on to the Final 4 in Class B. They're looking for their 3rd straight title. Here, the defending champion in Class C is Jordan. We'll see them later on and here in Milroy this weekend. And Preston Warren is who we're seeing right now. And he's first pitch swinging. And that one is off the sliding knee of Rick Drew. And that will be, I'm guessing, an infield single. That was a tough play from Drew. He might have been able to let that ball go through to the second baseman, Wenzel, and have the pitcher cover. But they're going to give that an error on the first baseman, error 3. And so another base runner on. And with nobody out, we go back to the top of the order. So Preston Warren has reached all 3 times. He has come to the plate, and he is again back on first base. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it is 9-0. Tom Tellers, who led the game off with a walk and came around to score. He then singled and scored, drove in a run in that 6-run second inning, and he struck out in the 3rd. So he's coming up for the 4th time in 5 innings, and a breaking ball misses just wide, and the count is 1-1. Bluffton has marked in every frame. 9 runs total. Runner on first, nobody out. And the pitch from Shalanka, who is from St. Stephen's. He's a Steve. And he misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Tellers works with the count 2-1, and it's 3-1. I mean Shalanka working out of the stretch with the runner at first base. And the 3-1 pitch, it will be on the way here. Tellers 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, and he's going to walk. So a walk again moves the runner over to second. Warren heading over there. And Cody Geiser will come to the plate. Geiser, the manager's son, is 1 for 2, and that is the end of the day for Jake Shalanka. So the 3rd pitcher is come and gone for the Randall Cubs. And we will then go to Rhys Kapsner from Piers, the Piers Lakers. So Rhys Kapsner comes into the game. We'll mark his spot, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to show you some highlights from last week's Class C tournament in the first round of the C tournament last week.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. They throw to the plate. It's not in time. There's a 4 and a walk. Runner going Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game. Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right. And that is going to be over his head.
delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called third strike. He had 2 called third strikes in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Trial League Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep. Looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose has opened this game up with a 3-run home run.
And welcome back to live action now. We looked at last week's big highlights, including the Randall win over Hadley, and as they came back. Today they are in peril, and runners at first and second. Breaking ball misses inside to Cody Geiser. Geiser will be the first batter that Rhys Kapsner faces. Kapsner, a right-hander from Piers, the second of the draftee pitchers, and the third one is working out right now as Kapsner misses inside. So 2 balls, no strikes. We are in the bottom of the 5th inning and nobody out. 2 runners on as the Bluffton Braves try to get to double digits on their runs. Pitch over for a strike. Heard a score that Sartell has taken the lead middle of the game against Gaylord. Ball comes out of the bullpen, the Randall bullpen down the left field side, and the umpire firing it back has the ball get away from the person who was tracking it down in the first place. 1-0 Sartell leading against Gaylord. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game next week. Good pitching performance, and pitch outside, and it's 3-1. 2 runners on and nobody out. There is a 10-run rule in effect here in the tournament after 7 innings. And the pitch on the way up high, and we will load the bases. So the cavalcade of runners continues on. It's the second time that Geiser has reached base. He has a base hit and now a walk. He has scored. And that will bring in Jake Dykov. And Dykov, who the starting pitcher who has yet to give up a hit, was hit by a pitch in one of his at-bats. That led to an RBI. The bases were loaded at the time. The last at-bat was a strange one as he swings and misses at the first pitch in this at-bat. The last at-bat was strange. He struck out. It was a wild pitch. He ran and looked like he was safe at first, and a run was going to score. Another pitch up and into the pitcher. This one from Kapsner to Dykov. But he was ruled by the home plate umpire that he had run inside the base path and was ruled out from home plate umpire Kevin Young. So a ball and a strike now to Jake Dykov. Bases are loaded, and a fly ball to center. It's shallow. Chasing in on it is Peter Schick, and it's going to drop. So everybody is running, but the runner at third is able to score. Peter Schick fires it in, and the run still scores. So give it a single and an RBI for Dykov on a blooper as Peter Schick was playing deep, and he had a break on it, but not a good enough one to make the play. So everybody remains safe, or everybody is safe, and Dykov gets his second RBI of the game, and now the score is 10-0 Bluffton over Randall. And Justin Dykov now at the plate, and he pops up. Coming in is Peter Schick. Again, bases loaded. This time he's going to get there. Nobody's tagging and going, and the out is made. Kyle Dykov to the plate. And a 10-0 game, and as mentioned before, and we'll keep the thought going that the Bluffton Braves have scored in every inning. And with bases loaded and 1 out, they have a chance to put up a crooked number in this game. And Kyle Dykov with 2 runs batted in. He is 1 for 3 on the day with the 2 RBI single that he delivered in the second inning. So Bluffton now has reached that double-digit mark on 9 hits. And the breaking ball is up high, and the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Randall Cubs wearing their red jerseys with the word Cubs across. The Bluffton Braves in their blue with tops. And the pop-up is recorded, and the out by Wenzel at second base, 2 down. Bluffton in control. They scored an unearned run in the first, and then just kept playing station to station to station to station, and all the way around. 6 runners reach in a row in the second, and all 6 score. So 2 outs now. Bases still loaded, and this is Josh Dykov. Josh, the right fielder. 2 base hits, an RBI, and a run scored. And he delivers a flare base hit to the left, and that's going to score 2 runs. And their play at the plate, actually, he's going to be out. Not sliding, so 1 run scores. And that's Tellers who's going to score on the base hit from Josh Dykov. But the Geyser not sliding on the play, and he is out at the plate. So that throw comes in 7-2 as Otremba makes the throw. Zach makes the tag, and it is now 11-0. Bluffton has gone 11 runs on 10 hits and 2 runs in that inning. So the base hit by Josh Dykov is his 3rd of the game. Pick up 1 RBI on the play. And the run scored by Tellers, his 3rd run of the game. And Geyser is out. We're going to step aside real fast, take a break. We'll be right back for the 6th inning. You are watching Class C state tournament action. It is 11-0 now, Bluffton over the Randall Cubs. We are in Milroy, Minnesota, Class C state baseball tournament time. You see the blue water tower here in Milroy, just down the right field side of this ballpark, right on Highway 68, south side of town. Andy Price and Nicholas Earlbeck with you here for one of 4 games today, the first of 4 games. And this one is a runaway at this moment. It's 11-0 Bluffton leading Randall, and we actually have no hits on the board yet for the Randall Cubs. And I say that, and foul ball as the ball lands just wide of the baseline. And the batter was Brett Strock. Strock, the only base runner of the game so far for the Randall Cubs. He walked in the 3rd inning. So they need to score a couple runs here in their next couple at-bats, or this game will have an early end to it, as the Randall Cubs have been trailing from the get-go. Pitch outside in the dirt and a high kick up onto the net. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Strock. This is just Strock's 2nd time up. Said just 1 base runner. So while the Bluffton Braves are in their 4th time through their batting order, we've seen the final 2 batters here just getting their 2nd at bats. Jake Dykov is going along well, and he throws a high fastball, just misses up in the zone, but he still looks like he's got lots left in his tank, as moving along with 4 of the 5 innings have been 1, 2, 3 innings. Strike on the breaking pitch outside, 2-2 on the outside corner. 6 strikeouts total through his first 5 innings of work. And the 2-2 pitch, slider outside. They check to see if Strock went around. Doesn't happen, so the count goes full 3-2. 11-0 in the top half of the 6th inning. Randall made a big comeback last week, but this is bigger if they can try to get back in this game. There's some activity in the bullpen for Bluffton. Just some light tossing going on right now as the count goes to remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Single up the middle, and the base hit is recorded by Strock. So Brett Strock will reach base. His 2 times up, and that brings up his brother Caleb. Caleb, the younger brother, and he will step to the plate. Caleb struck out his first time up, and with nobody out, there is a runner on. Caleb Strock looks at a fastball at the knees, strike 1. We'll go to the top of the order after this. On deck is Thomas Kunkel. This is Caleb Strock. Pitcher versus starting pitcher. He is no longer pitching. And swing and a miss in the count 0-2. Caleb Strock went to first base and then has made his way out to right field in the lineup, as 4 pitchers have been used for the Randall Cubs. 2-strike pitch, swing and a miss. And Jake Dykov overpowering his fellow starting pitcher. And with 1 out, we go back to Kunkel. Kunkel 0 for 2. Both times he looked at strike 3. He been mesmerized by a breaking ball on the strike 3 pitch in both occasions. Not agreeing with the first one, agreed more with the second one. Fastball swung on and missed. So 1 hit on the board. The Randall Cubs have notched that mark on the board. They currently, though, have more errors in the game than they have hits. Fastball above the letters, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 down in the 6th. Top of the 6th, 11-0. Soft toss over to first. That actually, last time he did that with the same base runner at first base, it got away from the first baseman and allowed Strock to get into scoring range. And the 1-1 pitch, fastball swung on and missed. Spots it well on the outer part of the plate, and Kunkel unable to reach it. Seemed like he was on it timing-wise. Just off the end of the bat. 1-2 the count to Kunkel, the shortstop, and swung on a miss. Just reared back and threw fastball past him. And 2 down. 9 strikeouts right now through 5 2/3 innings. And Kyle Peterchek up. Peterchek 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out to the first baseman. So he'll try to extend this 6th inning as Jake Dykov out of the stretch fires a fastball out of the zone, up and away. He's moving along well. Still great velocity. And we watch a parade of cars roll in towards the parking lot out in left field. Must be ready for game number 2. Fouled straight back. And we'll come back at 2 o'clock with game number 2, and that's the Delano A's, the Delano Athletics, and the Carver Black Sox. Carver with a big win last week over Clinton to move on. That game over in Springfield, but they move here to Milroy for week 2, and they take on the Delano A's. Swung on and missed, and the count 1-2 as Peterchek climbs the ladder on trying to hit that fastball above the letters, probably eye level. Peterchek, a great competitor. See if he can extend the inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dykov from the set, and the delivery fouled straight back. He's on it. Peterchek is on it. See how he handles the rest of this at bat. Bluffton up on Highway 10 between Wadena and New York Mills, and they're looking for another weekend in southern Minnesota. 1-2 pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch is strike 3 throw down to first base, and it takes him off the bag. And he's going to be safe as the catcher just floated it down to first base. Not a good throw from the catcher, and it takes the first baseman off the bag. So Justin Dykov extends the inning for his brother as he throws it down to Hamann. And Hamann was pulled off the bag. Peterchek was running hard, and he stays at first base. So another strikeout, number 10, and that brings up Travis Wenzel. Wenzel 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. So that might keep the inning alive and thus the baseball game alive. That was strange. With the runner at first, anyway, there was a runner at first who was not going on the play. Runner at first when first base is occupied. Ground ball to short. It's fielded. They'll throw across the infield, and the out is recorded. So Wenzel with his third ground ball out. And first hit, 2 runners on board in the inning, in a strange inning, as a hit is recorded. There's another error, and we're going to step aside, take a break. We'll be back. And we will be right back with some score updates and more for you from Milroy. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage. It's 11-0 going to the bottom of the 6th. Bluffton over Randall here at the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament.
First baseman number 30, Wyatt Holland.
And we are here for the bottom of the 6th inning. Andy Price, Nicholas Earlbeck, PrepSpotlight.tv, and Wyatt Hamann, the first baseman, batting for the Bluffton Braves. He's the number 7 hitter. And he'll line a base hit. It's his 3rd hit of the game. Rhys Kapsner still pitching for the Randall Piers. We have looks like we will have ourselves our first pinch hitter of the game here in the bottom of the 6th, as these might be the last cracks for the squad from Bluffton, as they can just if they retire Randall in the 7th, that will be the end of the inning. Kevin Turnburg is our batter. He's the pinch hitter, and he's going to be hitting for Sam Tellers, the left fielder, who has a hit and a run. So Turnburg. Kevin Turnburg, wearing number 15, right-handed hitter, getting his cracks. With a runner at first and nobody out. 11-0 your score here in this one. 2 balls and a ball and a strike now to Turnburg. Kapsner came in last inning in the 5th. Gave up two hits and a walk and got out of the inning with a play at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. There was a final out recorded when Cody Geyser was thrown out of the plate. He wasn't sliding, and he got tagged out as he was trying to cross the plate standing up. Wild pitch will allow the pinch runner. There's a pinch runner for Hammond. And the pinch runner for Bluffton is number 6, Hank Tellers. So part of the Tellers family. Looks like a younger member of the Tellers clan is at second base. Nobody out. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We have a good one going on in Lamberton, and we'll try to get an update on the score there. Three balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second. And the pitch on the way, and it looks like a looping base hit over the head of the second baseman, Wenzel. And trotting into third will be Turnburg with the base hit. That is the 12th hit of the game for the Bluffton Braves. So runners at first and third. And we will go with a new pitcher. And Dustin Geyser is at the plate and will be a pinch hitter for the Bluffton Braves, and we'll get the name of our starting pitcher or relief pitcher. Swanville's Levi Beesman, the last of the drafted pitchers, has made his way into the game for Randall. So their 5th pitcher today. 11 runs and 12 hits have been scored by the Bluffton Braves. So we're coming in with Dustin Geyser, which is not the same as the manager of the team, Dustin Geyser. Runners at first and third, nobody out. We are staring at a game that will be shortened to 7 innings. Actually 6.5 innings since Bluffton is the home team. Levi Beesman from Swanville. The pitcher now, another right-hander, and he will go to work here, so everybody who was drafted by the Cubs will get a chance to appear in state tournament play. As you take a look at the outfielders for the Randall Cubs, and you see on a knee both in right and center field, the center fielder Kyle Petershek. He is the leader of this squad, and he's I think he's resigned to the fact that this season is coming to an end for the Randall Cubs. But there is still baseball to be played, and the game is not over till the third out is recorded in an inning that decides it, and so that is the case. We have runners at first and third, 11-0, and Dustin Geyser up at the plate. And the first pitch in for a strike from Beesman. Guy's been batting for Preston Warren, who's had himself a busy day. 3 times he's been on base, and all 3 times he scored. Popped up towards right field, and it's going to be Wenzel and shallow right, actually just beyond the dirt, that makes the play. So Geyser's out for the first out of the inning. Preston Warren has walked and scored. Came around to score in the 3rd inning as well. I'm sorry, did not score in the 3rd inning, but he reached base. And then he reached on an error and scored in the 5th inning. So 1 out, and as I've mentioned before, Bluffton has marked in every inning that they've come to the plate. 2 last inning, 2 crooked numbers, and 3 single-run innings. First and third, and it is, and the throw to third on the snap throw will get the out on the pickoff. So 2 outs now. So Zach comes up firing on the pickoff, 2-5 on the pickoff for the second out. So their streak of having runners scoring a run in each half inning might be coming to a close right now, as Tom Tellers comes to the plate. Tellers has scored 3 times. He now has a runner at first base. And the breaking pitch, a slow curveball, is outside. Ball and a strike here, bottom of the 6th inning. It's 11-0 Bluffton. Now just 3 outs when they go back to the field, 3 outs away from moving on to the Sweet 16. Pitch on the outer corner for a strike, 1-1. 1-2, I'm sorry, to Tom Tellers. And I might be. And that is not Tellers at the plate as I go through my score sheet now. That is the shortstop who was being designated hit 4. Peyton Rondesvet is at the plate. I thought it was different. Peyton Rondesvet is now hitting. So it's Rondesvet at the plate. Runner at first. And the slow breaking ball misses outside, and the count levels 2-2. So wholesale substitutions in this game as everybody's getting the chance to play and everybody getting the chance to get an at-bat. 2-2, Rondesvet swings and misses, and so out of the inning is Beesman. No run score, so for the first time, Bluffton does not score, and we will go to the top of the 7th, where you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C tournament. If Randall doesn't score when we come back, they need to score 2 actually to extend this game on. We'll be right back.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
All right, we have one defensive change, and I believe we'll get to that here. It's number 11, if I'm not mistaken. No. And first pitch to Rick Drew here as Dykov is still out there in the top of the 7th inning, and it looks like Kurt Mersu is playing second base now. Mersu in for Geyser. Geyser was the second baseman. Cody Geyser was the second baseman, and Mersu is in playing second base right now. Swing and a miss in the count 1-2 to Drew. Rick Drew 0 for 2. His third appearance. Strikeout and a ground ball to second. 3 outs away from this one being in the books, and the 1-2 pitch is up high in the count 2-2. One base hit on the board for Randall, that coming off the bat of Brett Strock, and that happening just in the last inning in the 6th. And the 2-2 pitch over for a strike, and Drew is a strikeout victim for the second time. $11 Ks for Jake Dykov. Tremba at the plate, and he is 0 for 2 on the day, and he fouls it right off the helmet of the catcher Dykov. Justin Dykov still manning the plate for the Braves of Bluffton. We put the scoreboard up here in the 7th inning, top of the 7th inning, and now just 2 outs left if no runs score, or at least 2 runs need to score for this game to be extended, and the count 0-2 to And this is not Otremba. Otremba is being pinch hit for. And the 0-2 pitch as we go to the Randall Cubs. Wearing number 3 is Dane Peterson. This is Dane Peterson up. And Peterson is going to be strikeout victim number 12. Alex Zach will hit for himself here. Let's see if we were going to get a pinch hitter as we try to get everybody into the game, as this one is just about to be wrapped up. 1 out away from this one being final. And the first pitch fouled away. No balls and a strike to Zach. Zach is 0 for 2. He flew out to the center fielder and he popped up behind home plate, fielded by the catcher, Dykov. This is Jake Dykov pitching, and he is going to give up his second base hit of the day. Ball that goes to the gap. It's going to go all the way to the wall. And Zach is going to trot into second with a double, first extra base hit, as the ball gets in between the left and center fielders. And with 2 outs now, Sam Nagel's actually the batter that can keep this game going if he were to score with the runner on second. Both runs need to score to keep this thing going. 2 outs. I think that Dykov is trying to get his team into the dugout and on the bus home. First pitch, fastball misses high. Over the plate, up high. Dykov with 12 strikeouts on the game and 2 base hits. Now 2 hits and 2 errors for Randall. Breaking ball misses outside. Breeze again still blowing out of the north and the west. 2 balls, no strikes. Swung on a miss by Nagel. Nagel 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Nagel trying to mark the board here in a positive way before this game ends. He is the last hope. 2 balls and a strike. 11-0 your score. Bluffton looking to advance on. Pitch up, a breaking ball up, swung on and missed, and it's 2-2 now. 11-0 your score. We'll do a quick wrap of this game if it does in fact end here and get set up and ready for the game at 2 o'clock. Breaking ball, and he hits him. So this game is not over with yet. And Brett Strock, who has gotten 2 hits, or gotten a hit, and has reached base twice. He walked, and he got the base hit, first base hit of the game, breaking up the no-hitter in the 6th inning. And he comes up now with 2 runners on. If that runner at first scores, we will be extended on. If not, we will close it off. Dykov has not gotten Strock out in this game, and he misses up high with ball 1. First and second, 2 outs, as Dykov has given up a base hit and hit a batter with 2 outs. Strock looks at a pitch high, and it's 2-0. Just above the letters. And all of a sudden, the Cubs might just find themselves life to play on. We'll see what happens here. 2 on, 2 out, 2-0 the count. Dykov delivers, and it's flared foul, so 2-1 now. A walk and a hit batter messing up the line of Jake Dykov along with the 2 base hits. 2 errors also committed by Bluffton. 2-1 pitch is in for a strike, breaking ball. Hooks back into over the zone, and it's now back down to the final strike. 2-2 and 2. 2 outs, 2 on. It is Deuces Wild here in the 7th inning. Top of the 7th inning. Strock at the plate, trying to extend this game. Pitch on the way. Fouled off the catcher's helmet again, and all the way up to the roof of the grandstand and off the backside. So we'll reload again. On this bright and sunny Saturday now, just afternoon. 2-2 and the pitch on the way, and that's going to be strike 3. So the game ends on a strikeout. 3 strikeouts on the inning, 13 total for Jake Dykov. He'll go 7 innings. He'll give up the 2 hits, no runs. He walked 1 and hit a batter, and that's the final line. So that's game 1, your final, 11-0. Bluffton has moved on to the Sweet 16, and they will take on the winner of Sartell and Gaylord. And we might try to get one more.
And for Bluffton, they will advance to play next Saturday, September 6th, 6 o'clock p.m. right here.
See if we get the score from Sartell one more time.
Sartell and Gaylord winner. That game right now, bottom of the 8th inning. Sartell 1, Gaylord 0.
So it's 1-0 Sartell leading Gaylord. You can flip over. If you've got the Class C package, you just flip right on over there, and you can see that if you're a Bluffton fan and want to know who they've got next week in their round of Sweet 16. So the final, as the totals on the board are correct, no runs on 2 hits, 2 errors for Randall. They head home after winning a tournament game in their first tournament appearance since 1994. The Bluffton Braves from Highway 10. They move on with an 11-run performance off of 12 base hits. They also commit 2 errors, but it doesn't affect them in the run tally, and they win it in 7 innings, 11-0. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the Class C tournament. We'll be right back here at 2 o'clock. Carver and Delano from this ballpark. Andy Price, Nicholas Earlbeck with you, and we're going to step aside. Thanks for watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the Class C State Amateur Baseball Tournament.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.